The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And a happy Thursday afternoon to you, or Thursday morning, wherever you might be, or if you're watching later on YouTube, then a happy... Yeah, good job, Ron. Swallow that snot and get it right in there. A happy whatever time of day and day of the week it is for you. Today, my YouTube channel is at 499 subscribers, and so this is my 499 subscriber special, because at some point in the next day or two, I'm going to hit 500, but I also have to do some maintenance on the computer, move some video files over to my spare hard drive, and back up some other things. So the good mic is going to be unplugged. Today, we've kind of done a couple things for our good buddy Al, Red Sox fan. Al is going to continue to need your good thoughts and prayers if you're into that sort of thing. Al has contributed so much to the community and to myself. But today we're going to play a game between my two favorite teams of all time. The 2017 Washington Nationals, who won 97 games and will feature Mr. Max Scherzer on the mound, and the 1986 Boston Red Sox, kind of like the girls from that era. They just broke my heart, but we'll play them anyway, from Fenway Park in Boston. So it's Roger Clemens and Max Scherzer. Remember, Sunday, our next scheduled live stream will be the 86 football wraparound Week 16 show, where we play the fourth quarter of games that might determine playoff spots, and our 1978 baseball replay resumes on Tuesday. But now it is Roger Clemens and Max Scherzer on a hot, sticky July night at Fenway Park. And as you take a look at the field, I open up the chat and say, hello there, Mr. Mike, how are you? And Lorenzo did indeed make it on time today. And if I get 4 more Twitch followers, I can qualify for affiliate, because you guys have done the work for me. So a hot, steamy night in the back bay of Boston, 87 degrees. The wind's left to right at 2. So that cigar smoke you can really, really smell. And so let's give you the lineup for your Washington Nationals of 2017. Trey the Tracycle Turner is at short and leads off. Jason Worth, Captain Caveman. Good morning, DJ John. How are you? Is in left field. He'll bat second. Bryce the Philly Harper is in right field. He'll go third. Anthony Rendon, speaking of the West Coast, plays third and cleans up. Ryan Zimmerman, but I bounced those around. It should have been Murph and Zim, will play first and bat fifth. Daniel Murphy will bat sixth and play second with the righty on the mound, because it's a home game for an American League team, Clinton. It'll be Adam Lind as the designated hitter for the Nats. He'll bat seventh. Michael A. Taylor, the center fielder, bats eighth, and Matt, I wish he never played for Washington Weeders, as the catcher. He'll bat ninth. Now, Roger Clemens in 1986. This was his breakout year. He looks rather young and fat in that picture, as a matter of fact. 24-4 with a 2.48 ERA in 254 innings. He allowed 179 hits, allowed 21 home runs. He walked 67 and struck out a whopping 238. And at the time, that was a Red Sox record, shared with Smokey Joe Wood. Defensively for Boston, Jim Rice is a 7-5 in left. Tony Armas, a 5 and a 7 in center. Dwight Evans, a 9. I can't see the arm from Roger Clemens' head, but anyway, you know it's good. Wade Boggs is a 6 at third. Ray Quinones is at short. The computer had to pick 25, and it didn't go with Spike Owen or Dave Henderson. You won't be seeing Hendo in this game either. Quinones a 5 at short. Marty Barrett, better than a 5 in my opinion, at second. Bill Buckner, a 7. Yes, a 7 at first. Rich Gedman behind the plate, 7 and a 10. And Roger Clemens could field his position well. He's an 8. Fielding percentage isn't great, but he can at least knock the ball down. 87 degrees. Fenway is packed in the middle of July. And Trey Turner at 284, 11 homers and 45 RBI. One of my favorite players. Just love watching him play. Remember, he was a center fielder. No. He was hurt by the end of that year. He should never have been out on the field. Dave Stapleton should have been at first. And it wouldn't have mattered. The game was already tied. Calvin Schiraldi snorted that one away. So we're ready. Computer's running the Nats. I'm running the Sox. Turner digs in. Here's the pitch from Clemens. Struck him out on a 1-2 fastball at 90 miles an hour. Jason Worth looking relatively well groomed in that shot. 226, 10 homers, and 29 RBI. Was hurt most of 2017, and boy, did the Nationals miss him. He really could work a count. If you wonder why those teams, Red Sox teams, were really good in the aughts and the teens, because they could work counts. They could tire pitchers out, and Jason Worth can do just that. Clemens delivers, and Worth ground ball to Barrett over to Buckner for the out. Here's Bryce Harper. That's an older picture of Bryce at 319, 29 homers, and 87 RBI. Clemens deals. Harper into shallow or deep right. Evans is there. Makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Washington is done after one. Red Sox coming up, no score. It'll be Max Scherzer on the mound for Washington. 16-6 with a 2.51 ERA and 200 2/3 innings. He allowed 126 hits, 22 home runs. He is the master of the solo shot, 55 walks, and 268 strikeouts. And a whip of 902. And an average against of 178. Man, he was fun to watch. That guy was like Clemens, although Clemens never did it. Those two were potentially a no-hitter every time out. The lineup for Boston is going to look familiar for the most part. Wade Boggs will lead off and play third. Marty Barrett batted second most of the year for the 86 Sox, so I'll give John McNamara the credit of the doubt here and bat him second. Bill Buckner, who is criminally underrated. Criminally underrated. They don't make the World Series without Bill Buckner, okay? He bats third. Jim Rice, my favorite player of all time, is in left. He'll clean up. And he drove in over 186. Dwight Evans is in right field. He'll bat fifth. Don Baylor had the fortune of playing on, I think, 3 consecutive World Series teams. Yeah, he did. And he didn't win any. I don't think. He was with the Yankees in 85. He was a DH for the Red Sox in 86. And he ended up with the Twins in 87. And I think he did a year in Oakland, if I'm not mistaken, too. Anyway, he's a DH. He'll bat 6th. Rich Gedman behind the plate will bat 7th. Tony Armas, by default, is a center fielder. That really was the Red Sox' weakest position in 1986. And Ray Quinones is at short. He'll bat 9th. The computer did not activate. Oh, because I set the date for July. That's why. Spike Owen. And Roger Clemens threw 10 pitches in the first. Defensively around Scherzer, Jason Worth is at a 5-arm. I'm not sure what he is for a range. Michael A. Taylor is an 8 and 8 in the center. Harper a 7. I'll get the arm for you in a moment. Anthony Rendon is a 7 at third. Trey Turner is 6 at short. They're generous. Oh, that's right. Twins. No, because Twins were actually. He was a DH in Minnesota, so he was on the active roster. He got his ring with the Twins. Daniel Murphy, that's a generous 6 because Murph couldn't field. And Ryan Zimmerman, a not-so-generous 3. That's about right. Behind the plate, Matt Wieters, a 6 and a 5, and Max Scherzer, when not taking balls off his leg, is a 6 on the mound. Wade Boggs at 357, 47 doubles, 8 homers, and 71 RBI. Pitch from Scherzer, ball 4. Yeah, I don't get that either because Marty was a good fielder. By the way, Harper's arm is a 6 and Worth's range is a 5. We don't change any of the ratings here. Marty was a smart second baseman. Pedroia, I think, in Red Sox history is better. But Marty, because they never won a World Series, I don't think ever got the credit he deserved for how well he played. 286, 4 homers, 60 RBI. Look, and the infield's playing back. Gonna drop one here. Oh, shit. Oops. He bunts, and that is caught. No. Caught by Rendon. And Uncle Ron said a boo-boo. I forgot Boggs was on. Scherzer walked Boggs. I got caught in my own stories. So, 1 out. That's why they were playing back. Be Billy Buckner, 267, 18 homers, and 102 RBI. Remember, kiddies, this channel is not kid safe. If you're under 13, please be cautioned that Uncle Ron actually occasionally says words that your mother and father do not want you to hear. So Boggs on first, following the walk to start the ball game. Buckner from Scherzer. And there's a liner in the left field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Boggs will round third. They're going to hold him on the double by Billy Buckner. So the Red Sox got something cooking here. 2 on, 1 out for Jim Rice at 324, 20 homers, and 110 RBI. He didn't have the power anymore, but he did have 200 hits in 86. And again, Buckner and Rice, a very potent part of this Red Sox lineup. Scherzer deals, and Rice sends this one into right field. Back goes Harper. He makes the catch. Boggs will tag. They're going to run on Harper. The throw goes into second, and it's 1-0 Boston. Yeah, I need a 7-second delay. I honestly, chat with Al's a different story. I'm not sure how often I actually let out a nasty word in one of these streams. Can you imagine Vin Scully dropping an F-bomb in the middle of a game? My goodness, that ball was bleeping stroked. And you're all going to need relief after having fun with a Farmer John Dodger dog. Here's Dwight Evans, 259, 26 homers, and 97 RBI. No, I'm not going there. So, 2 out on the sac fly by Rice, and it's 1-0 Boston. The question is, with Scherzer and Clemens on the mound, how many runs is going to be enough? Because both of these pitchers are aces. Pitch to Dewey, struck him out. He got him on a 2-2 cutter, and that takes care of the side. A run on a hit. The Buckner double when the Rice sac fly puts Boston up after 1-0. So it'll be Rendon, Zimmerman, and Murphy to face Clemens here in the second. Scherzer threw 20 pitches in the first. And what the Red Sox want to do is get a hold of that Washington bullpen. Rendon at 301, 25 homers, and 100 RBI. Clemens deals. Rendon lines this one to center. Armas into right center for the out. And yep, game 1 of the 88 series. You can just do the call in your own head. She is gone. There you go. Scully never got the credit for that call. If you hear that call of the Gibson homer, chances are it's Jack Buck's call on CBS Radio that you hear. Here's Zimmerman at 303, 36 homers, and 108 RBI. And granted, it's a good call. Buck could call a baseball game. But there's only 2 times I've ever heard Scully yell. 3 times I've ever heard Scully yell. Pitch to Zim, and there's a line drive left field. That's going to drop in front of Rice, and Zim is on with a single. And there goes the no-hitter. So both teams have a hit, and Zim is not a threat to steal. Here's Daniel Murphy at 322, 23 homers, and 93 RBI. Murph would have won the batting title And would have won the batting title in 2016 if he hadn't hurt his butt in a gluteus maximus pull and missed the last week. Gets past Buckner. Here comes Knight and the Mets win it. The Gibson homer and Dwight Clark's catch in the 81 NFC Championship game. We'll forgive Scully for his overexuberance with the 86 Mets. So Zim on first, one out. John can count on one hand how many times I've cussed on the air and still have fingers left over. Now the word pizza. I keep saying this. It's about once a month I get one. It's not even a regular in my food rotation. But never mind. You know the argument there. It's a lot like a replay. Everyone likes to do it different. Pitch to Murph is a fly ball in the center. Armas is going to get there. No, he's not. That's going to get off the wall. Zim around third. Armas is going to throw home Barrett to the plate. It's close. Not in time. So Murph has an RBI double, and we're tied at 1. And everything is wrong with Pineapple. Pepperoni, on the other hand, I like. And this will bring up Adam Lind at 303, 14 homers and 59 RBI. Pinch hitter extraordinaire and Ryan Zimmerman's defensive replacement. I had dunks for lunch. And I got coffee, which is what I'm working on. 1-1 to score. Top of the second, one out. Clemens deals and Lind strikes out. Roger got him on a 1-2 fastball looking. And that's 2. And that'll bring up Michael A. Taylor, speaking of strikeouts. 271. He had a good year. If you don't think that Dusty Baker is a good manager, look at Taylor's numbers. 19 homers, 53 RBI. And that's because Dusty Baker stuck him out there when Adam Eaton got hurt, because he had no choice, and said, "I believe in you, son." And Taylor responded. No question about it. Pitch to Michael A. There's a line drive to first, and that is foul. So somebody from Beverly was watching a Bruins game on his little Watchman TV. Oh, I got a ball? Yeah, you did. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Pitch from Clemens. Ball 4. So Michael A. works a walk, and Clemens says a couple things to Terry Cooney behind the plate. That brings up Matt Wieters at 225. 10 homers and 52 RBI. 1-1, 2 outs in the top of the second. And our 499 sub-special. Pitch to Wieters. Struck him out. Clemens got him to swing, and it was foul tipped in the mitt of Gedman, and that will retire the side. But not before the Nats tie the game on a run and 2 hits. No errors. Inning and a half in the books. Washington 1, Boston 1. So Clemens threw 26 pitches in the second. You don't want to get in that Boston pen either. You might even see, if Baseball Demos watches this at some point, Bob Stanley. So it'll be Baylor, Gedman, and Armas to face Scherzer here in the second. Baylor at 238, 31 homers, and 94 RBI. And no one could lead into a pitch like Don Baylor. Pitch from Scherzer, struck him out. Got him on a 2-2 changeup for strike 3. He swung on and missed. 1 out for Gedman. 258, 16 homers, 65 RBI. And there's a liner in the right field. Harper will pick it up off a hop, and Gedman's on with a single. Gedman has a 71% chance to steal. Here's Armas. Tony at 264 with 11 homers and 58 RBI. Armas, a good player. I just think he was kind of out of gas by 86. Scherzer to the plate. Armas into left center. Back goes Worth. That ball is off the wall. Gedman will round third. He will hold as Armas puts one off the monster. And so it's 2 on and 1 out for Ray Quinones. 237, 2 homers, and 15 RBI. So the Red Sox have had 3 hits off of Scherzer, and the Nats have 2 off of Clemens. Quinones, ground ball to short. Trey will go for the sure out at first. Gedman will score. Zimmerman is on the bag, so Quinones is retired, and it's 2-1 Boston. And the Red Sox will trade that 9 times out of 8. And so Scherzer, first 9 of 42 pitches, an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. He's walked 1 and struck out 2. Boggs, I somehow missed that he walked, but I remembered he scored in the first. Scherzer deals. Boggs, liner up the middle. Taylor will pick it up. Armas will round third and score, and the Red Sox go up 3-1. What gets lost in that 86 Red Sox season is that they won 95. New York and Toronto, especially Toronto, chased. I think New York finished second. Is that the Red Sox that was one of the best regular season teams the Red Sox ever had. Lucky as anything, too. Marty's 0 for 1. Pitch just from Scherzer. Marty into center. Taylor goes back into right center and makes the catch. Red Sox, however, put 2 on the board on 3 hits and no errors. After 2, Red Sox 3, Nationals 1. And so Clemens through 2 has faced 9 batters on 36 pitches. 2 innings, 2 hits. He's walked 1 and struck out 3, and the run was earned. Trey Turner struck out his first time up. Shot's quiet. I don't understand the fascination people have with savory and sweet. I'm not a big fan of salted caramel or anything, especially a pretzel. If I'm going to eat a pretzel, and I can't eat a lot of those because I have the sugars, I just want it salty. They don't even sell the Mr. Salty ones anymore. Those are my favorite. Pitch to Turner is a pop-up left side. Quinones, 1 away. Here's Worth, 0 for 1. Clemens delivers. Worth draws a walk. As I said, pitch count a big thing. Worth not a threat to steal, and you don't want to do it in front of Bryce Harper anyway, who's 0 for 1. Roger deals. Harper strikes out. An 0-2 fastball that Harper swung on and missed. And Clemens just kind of struts around. That's 4 for him, and that'll bring up Anthony Rendon, who's 0 for 1. Yes, and that's why, Lorenzo, I'm not doing that on stream again, at least not with this computer. By sector, by the way, speaking of EVE Online, as he plays, yeah, you kind of can't do that with Play AFK. My mining ship, Mr. Lorenzo, got hit by the Trig invasion. Usually, I get the little rats in my belt and my little hobgoblins. This is going to make no sense to anybody else. We'll take care of them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I somehow warped out of there. I lost my hobgoblins, but I kept my 300 million ISK ship. Barely. He's a PvPer. Yep, I'll watch for you. You won't know who I am. Rendon is 0 for 1. Now back to the ball game. Struck him out. Clemens got him a fastball at 92 when they're at the knees. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2.5 in the books. It's still 3-1 Boston. Can you imagine Vin Scully going into a side rant about playing Jacks or Battleship? Him and Joe having a conversation about having a good time eating pizza and playing Risk. Bill Buckner, by the way, doubled his first time up. He's 1 for 1. Scherzer deals, and Buckner sends this one in the right. Harper in the corner makes the catch for the out. Here's Rice. He sacked fly in the first to make it 1-0. 3-1 Boston now in the bottom of the third. And Rice sends this one up the middle. Back goes Taylor in the left center, and he makes the catch on the base of the track. So the wind is calm, 87 degrees at the start of the game. Everybody in the shirt sleeves tonight And the Sam Adams is flowing pretty heavily. Dwight Evans struck out his first time up. Yeah, I don't know. I think half the people who have followed John have actually asked for a notification. So double checking your settings that I'm going live Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And we're figure out at least one night a week to do it. Thanks for the kind words. Lorenzo's been listening to Digital Dice on his walks and finds it very well done and informative. Dave and I have a great time for that. Dave could use a good few thoughts today, too. I don't think we're taping anything this week, but he might change his mind. So keep Dave in your thoughts as well. Pitch to Evans. Struck him out. He got him. He swung on and missed a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and that will retire the side in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played 3-1 Boston. So brings up Zimmerman, who singled and scored. Murphy and Lind to face Clemens here in the fourth. Roger delivers, and there's a ground ball to Boggs over to Buckner for the out. One away. Here's Murph. Murph doubled home Zim in the second. That's the lone run for Washington. And if you're wondering why I'm playing the 2017 Nationals and the 86 Boston Red Sox, well, 499 subs into my YouTube career, and I'm 4 followers short for Twitch to get 50. So it's a thank you to all of you. And so these are my 2 favorite teams of all time. The 86 Red Sox, of course. I was 14, had my heart broken, and I covered that 2017 Nationals team and had my heart broken. That's the lesson about sports. It breaks your heart. Clemens pitch, Murphy into right, Evans going back there, and he makes the catch 2 away. Now bring up Adam Lind. He struck out his first time up. Hits righties at a 303 clip, and Clemens 210 against lefties and 176 against righties. Pitch. And there's a line drive right center field. Evans will pick it up on a hop, and that's the 3rd hit for Washington. They'll bring up Michael A., who only walked 29 times in the year. Michael A's eye is kind of like my stomach at a buffet. It's always much bigger. And so for Taylor to draw a walk is pretty amazing. Clemens delivers, and there's a fly ball to center. Armas comes in, and that will retire the side. The Nats strand a runner. No runs, a hit, no errors. 3.5 down. Boston 3, Washington 1. So Mad Max will face Baylor, Gedman, and Armas here in the bottom of the 4th. Baylor struck out his first time up. Clemens is with 5, Scherzer 3. Max deals, and there's a high fly ball to left. Back goes Worth. That's gone. So Don Baylor, a solo shot down the line and left, and it's 4-1 Boston. Scherzer just kind of, as I said in the beginning, the king of the solo home run. That fastball was hung a little bit, and Baylor is just going to take full advantage into the screen. So it's 4-1 Boston, and that'll bring up Rich Gedman, who singled and scored his first time up. DJ John grew up living through 2 Dodger losses in 77 and 78. I feel you, buddy. I feel you. I wonder how different I'd look at the world had they won or finished in the basement during those formative years. Be interesting to talk to, some Mets fans from that era because they were in the basement. And do you think that, oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I hear you. 78. I know all too well about 78. And this team? Yeah. Broken heart indeed. Pitch to Gedman. Center field. Taylor going back makes the catch. Lorenzo grew up a Dodgers fan in the great Koufax era, which means that they scored 2 on 3 hits and no errors and allowed 1 run on 4 hits and no errors. So, as great as it was to probably have watched Koufax and Drysdale go on back-to-back days, the fact that you generated about as much offense as the 76 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Must have been awful frustrating. Armas doubled his first time up and scored. 4-1 Boston, bottom of the fourth. Scherzer got him an 0-2 in there at the knees, and that's his fourth. It's 2 out for Ray Quinones, who has an RBI. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Pitch from Scherzer, and there's one right back to Mad Max, over to Zim, and that will retire the side. But the solo shot from Baylor puts the Red Sox up 4-1. Wieters, Turner, and Worth here in the top of the fifth for Washington. Wieters, as he did so well in 2017, struck out his first time up. Clemens deals. Into right, Evans goes back and makes a fantastic catch. He actually got, there's no wind, but he lost it, I think, in the lights and made a diving stop to retire Wieters. 1 out for Turner, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So 63 pitches for Roger through 18 batters. 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks. He struck out 5. Roger delivers. Turner into center field. Back goes Armas. But the lack of wind here at Fenway will make that one easy to flag down. 2 out for Jason Worth, who walked his second time up and is 0 for 1. Pitch from Clemens. Worth into left. Rice will make the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home, Boston 4, Washington 1. And as the in-game box score pops up, a Dodger offensive onslaught was a Wills walk, a Wills steal of second, a Jim Gilliam bunt sending Wills to third, and then a sacrifice fly to score the run. Then Koufax pitching a 2-hitter. Yep, exactly. And, if you don't know any other way, that seems normal to you. That's not how those late 70s teams got to the World Series, especially that 77 Dodgers team. In-game box score, Singleton hits for Zim, Murph, and Lynn. That's the 3 hits for Washington. Red Sox have 5 hits and 16 at-bats, and Dwight Evans has struck out twice. Max Scherzer, 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs all earned. The homer to Baylor. He's walked 1 and struck out 4. Clemens, 1 run, 3 hits, and 5 innings. And so both should pitch to 27 batters. And that's your digital dice in-game box score. Sports Time Machine did get an email, okay? We loved it. Thanks for letting me know, Mike. I do appreciate that. My dad and I sitting on a warm summer night listening to the games coming in on a weak signal. Oh, that's right, because you're up near Fresno, aren't you? On KFI 64 on your AM dial, Los Angeles. Vin Scully and Jerry Doggett, or Vin Scully and Jerry Doggett. Yep, I figured. You gave it away with raisins. A very pleasant good evening to you wherever you might be. This is Vin Scully along with Jerry Doggett on KFI or 79 KABC. And it's time for Dodger baseball. Anyway, Scherzer, I gave you his numbers. Boggs is 1 for 1. He has singled, scored, and driven in a run. 5 hits for the Red Sox, 3 for the Angels. The Nationals. I'm just an angel in disguise. Pitch to Boggs, and there's a ground ball to Rendon. Long throw to first. Boggs is not that fast, and he is retired. Marty Barrett is 0 for 2. Lorenzo's old enough, he might know the answer to this if he's not getting blown up by a fellow space shooter. What was the first flagship station of the Los Angeles Dodgers? And I'm talking in Brooklyn. How you doing, Dale Lonsdale? Glad to have you along. It wasn't KFI. I know that. Marty Barrett is 0 for 2. Scherzer deals. Got him. Marty looked at a 1-2 pitch on the outside corner. 2 out. It was not KTLA. Radio, not television. But I'll give Dale credit. He's partially right. Nope, it wasn't. If you know who owned KTLA, you know what the radio station was that went with it. Bill Buckner 1 for 2, and it was one of the big reasons why something else happened a few years later. Buckner doubled his first time up. Buckner, ground ball, base hit up the middle. Bill is going to hold at first, and the Red Sox have their 6th hit. Brings up Jim Rice, sac fly, and 0 for 1. 2 out, bottom of the 5th. It's amazing how much Dodger talk we're having in the middle of a game between the Red Sox and the Nationals. Scherzer deals. Rice, ground ball to Turner, and that eats him up. And so it's an error. That bounced off the glove of Turner, and Rice will reach on the air. And so here comes Dwight Evans. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Why, it's the station of the stars, KMPC 710 Los Angeles. Better known to you by the mid-'60s as the home of Gene Autry's Angels and the Los Angeles Rams, and Dick Enberg calling the Bruins on for UCLA. But Gene Autry owned the station, and they had so much success with the Dodgers when it was time for the American League to expand in 1961. Autry bought the rights to the Los Angeles team. DJ John says, for my information, I'm not the only sports pusher. Sports Time Machine is currently showcasing the wonderful payoff pitch. He's doing 77, doing a Yankee replay for that. And so DJ John bought payoff pitch. You'll like it. You'll like it. I wish there was a computer version. Ron is a radio head. You should have known this by now. You've listened. Should have known, Lorenzo says. In those days, I listened to the Dodgers on KFI, the Giants on KMJ, which I think is out of Fresno, and the Angels. 3 games a day. Weren't those the greatest? When I was later in high school, we didn't have cable. Here's the pitch to Evans. And there's a base hit into left center field. That's going to run all the way to the wall. Buckner will score. Rice will hold at third. Evans has a double, and it's 5-1 Boston. They have racked Max Scherzer. When I was in the later part of high school, since I didn't have a girlfriend to worry about, the AM radio was great. We got the Mets on WFAN. We got the Red Sox in a variety of different places. The Yankees on WABC. The Phillies on WCAU. The Tigers on WJR. Who else? I mean, if one of the East Coast teams was on the coast, yeah, you could literally listen to ball games from 7 at night to 1 in the morning. WNBC had the Rangers and the Knicks in the winter. Great times, great times. Baylor's 1 for 2. He hit a solo shot down the line on the left. 2 outs in the 5th. Wieters and Scherzer go out to have a conversation. Scherzer deals, and Baylor squibs this one to Rendon over to first, and you can see why the Red Sox speed hurts. Because Baylor is retired and Rice will hold at third. A run on 2 hits and the 1 error. After 5-1 Boston. It'll be Harper, Rendon, and Zimmerman to face Clemens here in the 6th. Harper is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Roger deals. Struck him out. He got him on a full count. Harper checked the swing on the fastball, and now Red Sox fan behind the plate is going, I'm not giving you that. You swing for the man. And Harper says, fine, all things considered, I'd rather be in Philadelphia. Yeah, with Sirius XM, I bought TuneIn for the World Series, and I think I'll do that this year for the season. So much fun. The radio for baseball is so much fun. Rendon is 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Clemens deals, and Anthony into center. Armas makes the catch 2 out. Clemens has thrown a good ball game. Ryan Zimmerman is 1 for 2. He's got himself a single and a run scored. Pitch to Zim. There's a fly ball to right. Evans will make the catch to retire the side. The Nats go down in order. 5.5 down, 5-1 Boston. When I lived in New Mexico as a kid, 7, 8 years old, 2 hours, of course, Mike, if you're still watching, you can relate to this. Being a... No, AT&T, we get a good deal with them. But yeah, you do get it for free, but then you have to watch on your phone. Mike can relate to this. When I was a little kid, of course, the second game of the football doubleheader was immediately bedtime because it was 7:30, depending on the thing. But because I lived in the Mountain Time Zone, the morning kickoffs were, the 1 o'clock games kicked off at 11, and the late game kicked off at 2. And in the summertime, it was still daylight when the football doubleheader was over at 5. And you didn't even have to go to bed. And I'll even go on screen for this. And I could even stay up late enough to watch Mork and Mindy, which was on at 6 Mountain Time on ABC. It was awesome. That's the one thing I miss. It's also a beautiful area. Yeah, no, absolutely. I be nice to be able to stay up for the West Coast games. Of course, now that I'm older, I crash much earlier. Gedman, by the way, is 1 for 2. He's got a run scored. Scherzer at 92 pitches will walk Gedman. Computer is running the Nats. I'm surprised that they haven't gone to the pen. Don't we all, Ron? Don't we all? Tony Armas, he's got himself a strike. 1 for 2. He's doubled, struck out, and scored. 5-1 the score. Boston leading here in the bottom of the 6th. Nobody out, runner on. Yep, 4:30 is so much better. Pitch to Armas. Struck him out. Scherzer got him on an 0-2 fastball, swinging and missing, strike 3. Here's Quinones. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI. There's 1 year. It was the year that Denver and Seattle played in the Super Bowl. And really, the 48-year-old me goes, that should never have happened. Because Seattle, to me, is an AFC team. Pitch to Quinones. And there's a ground ball to third. Rendon flips it to Murph for 1 over to Zim. They go around the horn for a double play. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, Boston 5, Washington 1. Murph, Linden, Taylor to face Clemens here in the 7th. I think, yeah, so it was the year the game was at the Meadowlands. And we went out, which is an all other story altogether. And, oh yeah, when you lived in San Diego, you're right, Super Bowls are not meant to be played in the New York metropolitan area, for sure. New York's a basketball and baseball town. It's really not a football town. So we go out to a bar that's absolutely dead. My wife is actually in the bathroom for Peyton Manning's safety. There's a good story there. At some point, remind me to tell you this one again, because I'm taking too long with these stories today. And we decided to leave at the half. It's not a very good game. They got lucky. 60 degrees in the blizzard hit the next. That's right. You're absolutely right. So Sarah wants to go home, which is fine. I'm having a good time with her. There's no buzz in the place. The Broncos are in the process of getting killed, and so we leave. So we leave at halftime, and it's icy out. It certainly wasn't 60 degrees in Burlington, Vermont, Mike, that Super Bowl. And so we walk home. Murphy, by the way, 1 for 2. He's got an RBI double. Clemens delivers. Ball 4. So Murph draws a walk. To tell you how long that Super Bowl halftime show lasts, it took me about a half hour to do a walk. It normally would have taken about 15 minutes, okay? Not terrible, but just enough that it was cold and frozen, and ice just does whatever it wants to wheelchairs. We left before, as they were setting up the stage for, maybe I think it was Bruno Mars that year. Really doesn't matter. And I got home as they were putting the stage away to start the second half. So in the 30 minutes it took me to walk the quarter mile, I didn't miss a play. Lind is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. Clemens deals, and Adams slaps that one into right field. On a hard liner to Evans, Murphy will hold at second, and the Nats got something cooking here. Nobody out in the 7th. Michael A. is 0 for 1 with a walk. Clemens delivers, and Taylor into left field. Back goes Rice. He'll make the catch in left center. Murphy will hold at second, and there's one away. For Matt Wieters, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Clemens deals, and Wieters into right. Evans goes back and makes the catch. 2 out. Murphy might run here. He will. He's on third. And so 2 on and 2 out for Trey Turner. Clemens threw 27 batters, 93 pitches, 6 2/3 innings, 4 hits allowed. He walked 3 and struck out 6. And yeah, that's probably the one I wanted to see. Am I right? Was that the year? Was that who played in New York or at the Meadowlands or MetLife? Giant Stadium to me. The U2 show in New Orleans was pretty damn good too. Turner's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Clemens could use number 7 right here. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. He got him on an 0-2 pitch on the outside corner on an off-speed pitch, and Turner shakes the head. Clemens shakes his fist. Blake Trinan coming in. Say a few novenas for the Nats pen. Stretch time 6-1 or 5-1 Boston. Someone gave John Cotty a Red Bull between innings. That's a 7th inning stretch. It'll be Boggs, Barrett, and Buckner to face Blake Trinan in his 5.73 ERA. Had a much better time with the Oakland Athletics. 0-2 with the Nats with 3 saves. He was their closer coming out of spring training. Uncle Ron still has nightmares about that. 37 2/3 innings, 48 hits allowed, 3 homers. He walked 13 and struck out 32. And I'll take this moment before we go on with the end of the game to thank you all so much for all the follows here on Twitch. Yes, I know my CPU usage is high. And the 500 subs on YouTube, which is coming within the next day or two. You guys make this possible for me to do. You make it possible for me to do as my primary job, and I love doing it and bringing this stuff to you. So thank you all so much. Now enough schmaltz, back to the game. Wade Boggs should eat this guy for lunch. Trinan delivers, and Boggs sends this one into right. Harper will let it go foul. Kickoff Classic. Must have had good seats for those. Those games didn't sell very well. Syracuse and Southern Cal must have been a pretty good game. What year was that, Mike? 2-2 the count to Boggs. Trinan delivers. Struck him out. Well, that's what I get for jinxing him, huh? Boggs swung on and missed a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And you got Wade Boggs to strike out in the game. Here's Marty Barrett. Marty 0 for 3 with the strikeout. Trinan deals, and Marty sends this one to left center. Taylor makes the catch, 2 out. Bill Buckner, 2 for 3. Single, double, and scored a run. Pitch from Trinan. Here's a liner in the right field. Going to go all the way to the wall. Even with Buckner's speed, he got a double. And so that's Billy Buck's second double. Kurt Berglund, if he watches this, will be extremely happy that 86 Buckner had a game and a half here. Jim Rice 0 for 2 with a sac fly. Trinan delivers. Rice right back to Blake over to first, and that's an out. So that'll do it. No runs, a hit. Rice is left on second after 7. Boston 5, Washington 1. A run on 4 hits and an error for Washington. They've left 6 on. For the Red Sox, 5 innings, 8 hits, no errors, and they have left 5 on. Clemens is getting the fatigue warning as we start the 8th. Jason Worth 0 for 2 with a walk. Roger deals. Worth strikes out. An 0-2, fastball at 88. Strike 3 called, and that's 8 for Roger. Bryce Harper is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Clemens deals. There's a long drive to right. Long gone. And it's 6-2, or 5-2. Bryce Harper just hit an absolute laser down the line and right, and all Dwight Evans could do, as you'll watch the replay, is turn and watch it go. Harper just uncoiled on that, and now there's activity in the Red Sox pen. Anthony Rendon is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. And that's into left center. Back goes Armas. He'll get it for the out. 2 away. For Ryan Zimmerman, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Trinan could conceivably come out to pitch the 8th, or at least start the inning. But Sean Doolittle will be my choice. Bye, darling. Love you. Wifey's off to work early. Pitch to Zim. Struck him out. Clemens will finish strong. He swung on and missed an 0-2 cutter. And that'll take care of the side. Bryce Harper with a mammoth home run to right. That's the lone hit. No errors. 7.5 down. 5-2 Boston. Chelsea Janes, who now does politics for the Post, Washington Post, was the beat reporter when I was covering the Nats, and she's wonderful. She's just absolutely wonderful. And any time that Enny Romero would warm up on Twitter, she'd write, any guess? E-N-N-Y. Who's warming up? Enny Romero, I thought, could have been a closer, and if they hadn't canned Dusty, I think he might have had a chance. 2-4 with 2 saves and a 3.56 ERA. 55 and 2/3 innings, 55 hits. 7 home runs allowed, which is a lot. He walked 23. You never knew what he was doing. And struck out 65. He throws triple digits. But kind of like a lot of other wild pitchers, you didn't know when it left his hand where the hell it was going. I don't consider H-E double hockey sticks a swear word, by the way, just in case John is still counting. Evans, Baylor, and Gedman here in the bottom of the 8th. Dewey, 1 for 3, a double, 2 strikeouts, and an RBI. Pitch. Fly ball left field. Worth. 1 out. Here's Baylor. He put one in the screen for a solo shot. 1 for 3 with a homer and a strikeout. Pitch from Enny. Ground ball to Turner. Long throw to Zim. 2 out. So 2 quick outs here. 2 runs. 5 hits. And an error, as John tells me how many times I've sworn on stream. And Washington's left on 6. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. They've left on 5. Gedman 1 for 2. He singled, scored, and walked. Here's the pitch. And Gedman ground ball to Turner again. Trey jump throw to first, and that will retire the side. So Roger Clemens will come out for the 9th, kind of like the Pointer Sisters. He looks fine. Ooey, ooey, baby. We go to the 9th, 5-2 Boston. And it's the hard part of the Washington lineup to face today, at least. Murphy, Lind, and Taylor. Daniel Murphy doubled, 1 for 2, walking an RBI. Clemens delivers, and Murph ground ball to Barrett, over to first, 1 out. Oh yeah, so the Pointer Sisters caused me to lose a viewer, huh? Not the swearing, but the Pointer Sisters. Here's Adam Lind. Adam is 2 for 3 with a strikeout. Clemens from the wind. And there's a liner in the ride. Dewey's going to be there. 2 out. And so we kind of proved the point, at least with Roger Clemens. And, of course, in '86, it was Clemens and Hurst in fear for the worst. That the '86 Red Sox can compete with any mid-level team. Here's Michael A. Taylor. He is not struck out. We'll see what happens here. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He will hit and hits a base hit into left center field. And so Mr. March, as I called him because he hit the walk-off spring training hit, got a big hit there. Brings up Matt Wieters, who's 0 for 3 with the strikeout. And again, Stanley, Sambito, and Schiraldi warming in the pen. Gedman goes out to talk to Clemens. Clemens delivers, and there's a ground ball to Buckner, who takes it to the bag, and the Red Sox will win it. 3-U, and that's what they say to the Daily News. 3-U. It's Boston 5, Washington 2. And so Roger Clemens is going to be our digital dice player of the game. 9 innings, 6 hits. He gave up 2 runs, all earned. He gave up the solo shot to Harper. Hey, thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it. He walked 3 and struck out 9. Scherzer takes the loss. 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earns, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Trinan and Romero pitched just fine. Thank you very much. And we'll show you the batting things. Bill Buckner went 3 for 4. Lorenzo, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. You guys are wonderful. I appreciate and love you all. Sunday, we'll wrap up the '86 Pro Football regular season by doing a whip around. 4th quarters of meaningful games. And until then, I'll talk to you the next time. Have a great Thursday.